that's how you start any business and any product is there's a problem and you create the solution. So then we were like, okay, this problem that I'm having, other people are having as well. We just created the solution.
What's your plan for tomorrow? Are you a leader or will you follow? Are you a fighter or will you cower? It's our time, take back the power. What's your plan?
Welcome back to the Rebel Show with Bree Mesquit. I'm Bree Mesquit, and today I have my husband here with me because in today's episode, we are talking about what it's like to work full-time together as a husband and wife team. So I have some questions that were sent in to me, and we're just going to go through them and answer them. Real quick background on us. We actually met in 8th grade. I was a rebel from the beginning, and I don't highly recommend this, but I did get expelled from my private Catholic school in 8th grade with only a couple weeks of school left. And got transferred to his. So see, everything happens for a reason. God had a plan, and the plan was for us to be able to meet and our paths to cross.
Rebels meet rebels.
Yep, that's true. So I got transferred to his school. I met him the first day. It was PE class.
PE class. I sent a friend over to say, hey.
So his friend approaches me. I was so nervous. But when I'm nervous, I actually go too hard on the confidence, don't give a crap attitude. But I was actually really scared on the inside. But anyways, this dude with long curly hair walks up to me, and I was kind of worried. I'm like, what does he want? And he's like, hey, my friend over there, he thinks you're really cute. And then I look over and he's up looking around, whistling to the sky. What did he ask me? I can't remember, but I just remember my response being like, well, then he can come and introduce himself. So did we end up talking?
Yeah.
Okay, we did.
Yeah, it was 8th grade, so I don't know exactly the details of it, but I remember that, sending my friend over, pulling the old OG move.
His wingman. So we dated in 8th grade, whatever that means as 8th grader. I think we held hands.
Yeah.
You'd walk me to my friend's house. We did kiss in front of the gym, the city gym.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then I think your grandma saw us or something.
And then oh my gosh, I feel so bad. So when we were preparing for my bridal shower, she had these questions or something. And one thing, we talked about that. I'm like, Grandma, remember that boy in 8th grade that you caught me holding hands with walking down the street when I was supposed to be somewhere else? I was like, that was Chance. And she's like, what? I was like, yeah, that was him. But I had told her, I was like, I don't know. He was some weirdo and he grabbed my hand and I felt bad for him and I didn't want to embarrass him. So I just held his hand. So I kind of threw you under the bus. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
But anyway, so that's when we met. Yeah. Went to high school together. We would sneak away to the vending machine room and make out every now and then in front of the Tyson chicken machine. Oh my God, it's so embarrassing. And I was actually on the wrestling team in high school. So he would creep on my practices and be watching me wrestle.
You're just making me sound like some weirdo creep.
No.
Walking you.
We were in love. We were in love.
Pulling you into the vending machines. Stalking you.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did make him sound like a creep.
No, it's okay.
But whatever.
I'm
Actually,
a creep
you were kind of rude sometimes too.
Well, I mean,
you try to play the cool guy role. But
yeah, you're treating me like a creep, so I was being rude to you.
I was not treating you like. Let's move on from that. Okay. So that's how we met. Anyways, and then so we saw each other at graduation from high school.
And then what'd you say to me at graduation?
I said, "What are you doing here?"
You made it.
You made it.
Yeah, who was the rude one in this situation?
I know. Now talking, I was kind of a B. I'm sorry.
That's all right.
But I mean, you still have to put up with me. I'm sorry. It's what it is. It's who I am.
And this goes into working with each other.
Yeah. So let's get to that point. Anyways, we saw each other at high school graduation. Our paths we went separate ways for a little while. I ended up having a baby. We talked every now and then. There was random weird things that would bring us back into each other's lives. It was really, it was destiny. We'll put it to that. It was destiny. We were meant to reconnect. So we'll fast forward though. And I was 21. You were 21.
Yep.
You moved to South Carolina.
Moved to South Carolina, came back.
Came back. I slid into your DMs.
Yep, slid in, and you forced me on a date.
I did actually. So I messaged him. I'm like, do you have a girlfriend? He's like, no. Are you still with that loser? I was like, no. And then I was like, well, do you want to go out to dinner? And he's like, I got work in the morning. I was like, so what? I'm worth being tired for. That's what I told you.
And I said, yeah, you are worth being tired for, so let's go.
So we went to dinner. I picked him up.
She did pick me up.
And I had to teach him some manners.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
She swears.
You just got into my truck. You didn't even. And so I told her, I was like, you could try again. I was kind of bossy. I was still kind of bossy. I'm reflecting on myself right now. Is this a problem?
I don't know. Well, that's another episode.
All right, we'll get to bossy problems in another episode. But anyways, I told her, I was like, no, come get out, come say hi, like whatever. So
she didn't get out of the truck. She pulled up, and then so I just got in the car. Like
yeah, because I expected you to come around and like I don't know, whatever. So we went to dinner. He did end up coming over. You met my little wiener dog Bentley. Stayed the night, and you never left.
Nope,
We've been together every day since then. But I did have Riley was how old? 2?
She was 2 years old.
She was 2. So he was not, you were a bachelor at that point, single dude, 21, and now got thrown into this life with me and my daughter, my 2-year-old. So there was a few points when he's like, I'm going to go home for a little bit. I was like, all right. So he went home, and then a few hours later, you'd be calling me and ready to come back. And but he needed a break from the chaos of a 2-year-old. Anyways, crazy. So then from there, we've been together ever since. We're actually in September of this year going to be celebrating our 10-year wedding anniversary. Yeah. We dated for 2.5 years before you proposed on Valentine's Day of 2014. Yep. Got married September of 2014. All right, so let's start there. What were we doing? You were doing landscaping.
I was doing landscaping, and then started a moving company. And you were working at Facial Lounge. Moved on to European Wax Center. And then we were kind of just juggling all that. And then I stopped doing landscaping, just got serious about the moving company. And then you were still working at European Wax Center, and we're kind of just...
So I was helping him manage that. I was dealing with booking the client, the jobs, all the logistics of it. And then he would show up on the job, actually provide the moving service, run the crews, all of that. We actually did really, really well. So that's what our first experience working together. Mm-hmm. And we realized we were very compatible because of the different strengths that we brought to the table. Yeah. Like where I lacked, he was strong. Where he lacked, I was strong.
I could execute the vision, and you had the book smarts for all the office back end stuff.
Yeah. So fast forward to me being a solo esthetician. This is 2019. We moved from me renting a small room in the back of a hair salon to now we had our own storefront. So I had a salon on PCH in Newport Beach, across from the Balboa Bay Club. Pristine location, literally. Like, it was such a God thing. Like, it was very inexpensive. It was small office space, but he has construction background, so he was able to remodel and outfit it for our needs. Created a private because it was one solid room, and then you created a private treatment room.
300 square feet or something like that?
Yeah,
400.
It was small,
and we made it work. We made a room out of it, and there are 2 rooms. Your treatment room, and then like a little waiting area.
Yep.
So a front end that you would sell products and
and then I put a chair for a lash chair, so I ended up renting to a lash artist. I would hold hands-on classes, so he helped me with my business, kind of more of the back end stuff too, like the maintenance of things and like whatever, just random stuff that I really needed help with. But then 2020 came around, and I saw how important social media was with marketing and branding and starting to create a brand and just marketing yourself and being able to gain more clients. And I really wanted to start transitioning into more of training and educating other waxers. With social media being so important for all my goals to be able to market and get people actually in the door or booking trainings with me, I started doing a lot of wax demos and Instagram videos, and the background of my videos was just so bleh. It was so ugly. I was like, my brand's pink. I wish there was pink in the background. I was also doing lashes and waxing. So the turnover from going from doing a lash service to a wax service, I was blocking out 10, 15 minutes to change up my treatment table. And then I was like, this is 15 minutes. I could be doing an extra Brazilian. And at that point I was charging $50. I'm like, daily, I'm throwing away hundreds of potential dollars by having this weird room turnover. So I was like, I really need something to put on my treatment table that I can wax on top of and like is an easy cleanup. Also, it was really frustrating for my clients. The exam paper was just so uncomfortable. So I wanted to find a solution because there wasn't anything at that point. We actually are the original wax pad creators. There was one other company who I actually got their blessing before creating mine because mine is different. But there was only one option at that time, which is a different material, different concept than what we have going on. But he was working in the garage. So we had moved out of our RV finally. We lived in an RV actually for 3.5 years. Cool at first, really rough season. Later, like probably a year in, it started getting rough. It was hard, but it was a season. It served its purpose. Don't regret it. It's part of our story. I'm not going to get too into that, but maybe another episode we can talk more about that and that journey. But he was working on a project in the alley in front of our garage because it was like a detached garage. And I saw the material. I'm like, wait, what is that? Because I already had in my mind that I really wanted to create a product for the problem that I personally was experiencing. I had no intention of starting to sell it or anything. So I saw the material. I'm like, what is this? And I was like feeling it. And like, did we take a sample and pour wax on it or something? Yeah. Like, and then I was like, oh my gosh, this could be something. So I ordered just, I don't know, like 5 yards or something, just a little bit like, and funds were really tight at that time too. Like we were doing well though, like my clientele in your moving company.
We were doing the best we were ever doing.
Yeah, we were doing pretty good, but we were a young family with 3 children in Orange County. So it's like, you're always chasing your tail, unfortunately. So, which hence us moving here to Oregon now. We got the material. It came in. Our first color was hot pink, right? Mm-hmm. And I wanted white trim because that was like, I felt like the most on brand.
You didn't even know how to trim it out.
I didn't even know what trim was, or I didn't know like the name. We didn't know.
We needed it to be finished.
I knew what I wanted it to look like though. I knew I wanted it to have a nice edge and finish because just the material on its own just looked undone. It wasn't pretty. So our salon, actually, our next door neighbor was a tailor. Yeah. She had an alteration company. So I brought it in. She didn't speak English, so I'm doing like hand gestures. We're drawing stuff. Like we did what we had to do to try to like share our vision. And then she found, the trim. We created labels, or maybe it took a little bit before we actually created the labels.
Label wasn't on the first one.
But she cut it
because it wasn't supposed to be. It wasn't ever going to be like a selling thing. We didn't start it.
We were just trying to make it for me to use because my videos. I wanted my videos to have pink in the background. Yeah. So we did that. Well, I did, and maybe I could find it and share it with you guys. But I did a quick little post on my stories. At that point, I had maybe 3,000 followers. But it blew up. Yeah. Everyone was reaching out wanting a wax pad. Yep. So we're like, oh my gosh, we just stumbled onto something. Yeah. Like this.
Did we even call it a wax pad at that?
Yeah.
Did you?
I was calling it a wax pad.
You were?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So we called it a wax pad. And then so we're like, oh my gosh, this is, that's how you start any business and any product is there's a problem and you create the solution. So then we were like, okay, this problem that I'm having, other people are having as well. We just created the solution. Like, let's go. Effect. Like it just naturally came about. So we started making just the hot pink. We took pre-sale orders so that we could afford to buy a full roll of a material because we couldn't even afford to buy a whole roll. Yeah. We were buying just yards at a time. Yep. Yeah, that's crazy. I remember when the first roll showed up on our apartment doorstep. It looked so big. Yeah. I was like, crazy. This is, and now how many rolls do we have?
I don't know, probably like 50 or 60
crazy.
Different rolls out
They're
there.
Heavy too.
50 pounds each, yeah.
So he actually created this cool stand because we're an apartment.
Yeah.
Our dining table was not big enough for this.
We didn't have much space at all.
We didn't have space. So we would set
like an
up
all-in-one stand.
Yeah, we would like set up in the. It was crazy. We'll have to find pictures and share it with you guys. But he created this stand. He would be cutting the material. And then one of my best friends, Becca, shout out to Becca.
What's up, Becca?
I've known her since kindergarten. And yeah, we've been besties for a while now. We're in different states, so I don't get to see her as much as I'd like. But love her family. Anyways, she was wanting to make some extra money. I'm like, are you down for taking a sewing class?
Yeah.
So I bought a sewing machine. We sent her to a private class with some random lady at like a Joann's or something. Like I recruited
exactly.
like some lady from Joann's. I'm like, you know how to sew. We don't. Can you teach my friend? Name your price. Like, let's do it. Yeah. So she went and did like a crash course, but I wanted her to specifically teach her how to make this. Like, we weren't trying to like just sewing in general. We're like, just show her how to like complete this project. So she started sewing for us. Yeah. So that's kind of how we started off in the product space. So fast forward, then we moved up here to Bend. Chance took some odd jobs. And then, but our business was really building. We were really busy with the wax pad. So him taking these odd jobs and stuff actually really got in the way of us being able to complete and fulfill our orders.
Yeah. And then, it started coming in.
Yeah.
So then I stopped doing those jobs and then we got right to the orders.
Yeah. We went all in together. It was just him and I.
But then moving
for a
up
long
here,
time.
it had its own struggles with trying to find the seamstress and new, people to sew our product and our material. And for a while, we were still making them down there, right?
Yeah.
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 At our other friends.
For a minute, a friend of ours, his best friend's now fiance, her family had a manufacturing company of water polo. What are they called?
Parkas
for water polo. And they made swimsuits and stuff. So they had a huge, I want to say,
West. Shout out
True
to True
West.
West.
Shout out. I want to say it was like a 10,000 square foot warehouse. Like,
yeah,
it was huge.
Big, yeah.
It was big. So that was there. So I was like, hey, would you guys be able to manufacture these for us? So we did that. So I would actually fly down, pick up the orders. Like it was chaos.
Well, you're still working down there.
I was working and taking clients, but I would line it up so that like I was down there every 7 to 10 days because that was our fulfillment time. So it was 7 to 10 days. So we did that for a while. They had to close down because of COVID and stuff. So I flew down to take clients. I called him. It was his birthday. I was like, I canceled my flight back home. And he's like, what the? And I was like, so I need you to come pick me up. And we actually bought the machinery and some supplies tables and stuff from them since they were closing down. I'm like, well, what are you doing with all this equipment? And then he drove down on his birthday solo, 15-hour drive, and picked up 2 sewing machines, the cutting machine that we don't even actually use, and a few other things. And we moved up operations up fully here
to our garage or our shop. In our
we had a warehouse at our first house, so we started working out there. Found a seamstress, a few they would switch off, and so that's kind of how we arrived to then working together full time. So that was a very long introduction. I apologize about that, but that is some of the that's the backstory of how we arrived here. So all right, on to the questions.
All right, questions.
So dynamics. What does a typical day look like for us working together?
Waking up, getting
Eyes
the kids
open.
Getting the kids ready for school together. You have your routine. You'll pack their lunches. I'll help, our youngest son, get dressed and ready. And then we drop them off at school, hit the gym every day, and then get into the warehouse. I'm starting to print orders and take over the warehouse part of it, the shipping station. And then you get in here and do what you need to do, answer emails and get on your live and get things handled in that department.
Yeah. So right now we're in like a transitional period. So we're really working Chance up into being head of operations. So one thing we've learned recently with working with our business coach is the different like categories that or functions of running a business. So you have sales and marketing, you have operations, and you have finance. So he's now because I've been really the lead of operations for a long time now, but also lead of sales and marketing and finances, and like he would help and support me with it. But now it's being handed over to Chance Foley to be COO, your head of operations. So it's really nice. It's freed up a lot for me.
Yeah, I need to take it over so you could focus on what you need to focus on.
What I'm good at, which is content, collabs, customer service, sales and marketing, social media. It's my thing. So dynamics wise, I feel like we work really well together. And like
we have from the beginning, back in the moving company days, so we just kind of still go with that run, and you stay in your department, what you're good at, I
get kicked back to my office all the time. I feel like you built this more as like a cell for me. We're in our office right now that he built, so that's what I'm pointing at and talking about. But now that I think about it, I think
we need to get back
to
those basics.
He built me a cage.
We need to get back to those basics of you staying in your department and doing what you're best at. And then,
and we have a small team now. We have 2 other employees in the warehouse. We have a customer service rep.
We have Ashley.
We have Ashley behind the camera right now. Shout out to Ashley. We have, what else? We have social media manager. We have our coach.
Our sister-in-law.
Yeah, she's doing customer service. Alexis, and sales and marketing.
Shout out.
I'd love for her to become my EO. So, Alexa, if you're watching, please move to Bend.
Yeah.
I have to talk my brother into it first. And then who else is on our team? We have our seamstress. We have Adriana, who is our bookkeeper / CEA, all the things tax and finance related. We have a website developer. We have a ClickFunnels guy for the free course that we created. And that's it, huh?
That's it.
Dang, we have a solid little team going on. That's pretty awesome. All right, next question. What are some of the biggest challenges that we've faced working together? I feel like we actually thrive really well when challenges come up. I feel like that's when we shine the most and really buckle down and just get it done. I feel like we work really well as a team. I think where we can struggle more is actually when things are we can tend to bicker and stuff. Here, I mean, we're married, we're together all the time,
and we're also learning different roles in the aspect of actual business too. So things do come up and, trying to figure it out and navigate through it together.
Yeah,
for sure.
But when really big hurdles and challenges come up, I think that's when we actually do our best.
Yeah, we buckle down.
Yeah, and we just get it done.
Yeah, I think just the challenges of, learning the aspect of running this as an actual business and company, figuring it out at first,
Yeah, we're really learning how to try to scale this to the next level, both for a bunch of different reasons, to serve our audience, our customers, you guys better, to provide jobs for people that we care about. We very much are a family run and operated business. We have my mother-in-law, so his mom, my brother-in-law, his brother, my sister-in-law, so my brother's wife. His dad will come and work with us, especially projects like this, building the office. So it's an honor and privilege for us to be able to provide income and jobs for family members.
Exactly.
For sure. Next question would be, what's your most memorable moment pertaining to our business?
Memorable moment. I think the time when we drove down to Portland and picked up our first pallet of wax.
Yeah.
As a family, we took the kids, it was me and you, and we drove down there and loaded it up. And then I think that was a big, just holy shit, we're doing something huge right now.
Yeah.
And that was the first of that journey, of this journey.
Yeah. A new chapter.
Yeah. A new chapter. Yeah. And then, putting up all these racks too, and then seeing it from one pallet to a whole shipping container.
Yeah. Well, and in that, so what happened was they kept delay. We pre-sold all the wax because we couldn't even really afford to have it shipped. So we did a pre-sale. Thank you guys that trusted that we were going to deliver a great product. Like I love, and this is the importance. If you guys listened to one of the last episodes, I talked about the like, no, trust factor, and I built that through social media. So our audience trusted us that we were going to deliver a great product. And with that, without you guys having even seen the wax before, touched it, feel it, used it, we sold that entire pallet before it was ever delivered. We were able to pay for the shipping. Anyways, it was stuck at the port for a long time. We were starting to get emails and DMs. I think people were like, are they scamming us? Like, what's going on? Because we were really delayed. And this was our first time dealing with like customs and delivery and all of it. It was insane. So it was stuck in Portland, and I was like, we need to go get it. So I called the port. I was like, we're coming to get it. I can't wait on you guys anymore. We rented a U-Haul trailer, and the next day we just drove to Portland, 3.5 hours, loaded up and drove 3.5 hours back and started shipping that same night. Like we probably worked 14 hours.
For its first time is a whole story in itself. So like
the shipping labels, the boxes,
and printing it on
tape.
paper and not using, packing slips and all the crazy stuff that we did just to get the job done and get it to our customers. It was not
efficient at all. But we got it done. And this is a big thing. You guys will hear me say that. You've heard me say this in past episodes. You're going to continue to hear me say that. Start before you're ready. The learning comes in the action. Of course, prepare so you have some educated, decisions you can make. But it's really, the learning is in the doing. So that's something I really admire about the both of us, is that we will just get started and figure it out. And we're really great at overcoming obstacles together and readjusting as needed.
Exactly.
And that's huge for any business that you're in, is being able to have that flexibility and being able to do that. So anyways, we got the shipment back home, shipped that out. So I guess the biggest memorable moment for me was when we had that first shipping container being delivered. So we ordered a full shipping container because with that, it's cheaper on the prices, which we could pass along to you guys, our customers. So we got a shipping container, but we didn't have anywhere to store this product that was coming in. We didn't have, and our warehouse at home, we probably could have made it work. We were coming up with plans because there is an overhang where it would be protected from the weather, but it would still have been outside. So we were like, do we stack it under this overhang and tarp it? What do we do? So we're like, I think it's time for a warehouse. So we started looking for and we were down to a week from when the container was supposed to arrive. And then how many warehouses did we look at?
A handful.
A lot.
And then, the city of Bend, it's really hard just to get into a warehouse.
Yeah.
So this place was perfect because it was a handshake deal.
Yeah.
And the
family-owned,
family owned forever. And so it was a great deal. It worked out and it all just fell into place.
God's timing. If we would have found a warehouse beforehand, this one wasn't yet available. So sometimes doors close because you're waiting for the right one to open and it's just not ready to open yet. Exactly, so that was memorable. So once we signed this, literally I feel 3-4 days later, the shipment came. Yeah. We had 0 racks. I'll find pictures for you guys.
We just stacked the boxes in rows on the floor.
We only had 1 wax at that time.
Yeah.
We only had 10-pound pink shimmer. We didn't have different size bags. We didn't have different formulas. We didn't have different colors, which made it really easy for organizing in the warehouse, though, because we could just all stack it all together.
We just called a buddy. I think it was me and you the first time.
Yep.
So
we didn't know what to expect with the container. We, in our mind, thought maybe they were going to drop the container off and then come pick it up a couple days later or something. Yep. We thought maybe all the wax would be on pallets so that we had the potential to go rent a forklift and just get them out. When that driver showed up and backed up and opened the back of the truck and we saw individual boxes, 30,000 pounds of wax or something crazy. There, and it was just the 2 of us. And he told us we had 2 hours. And after the 2 hours, we would be charged by the minute a detention fee. We both looked at each other. I got my phone on my phone and called every single person I knew.
And we didn't know that many people at the time too. Because what was that? 2 years into living up here. We had a handful of people, but not too many.
Not too many.
I think we got that first shipping container done ourselves. I think that was the one.
Yeah. We might have called a friend that showed up like halfway through and helped.
Yeah.
So that was probably the most memorable moment for me.
For sure.
All right. So advice for others. I would say first and foremost, you guys, especially for you youngins watching this that aren't married yet, choose your spouse wisely. If you are wanting to embark on the journey of being an entrepreneur, your spouse can make it or break it. So I'm grateful and blessed to have Chance, where he's my best friend and husband, business partner. I definitely wouldn't have been, because I know myself, I would have gotten to a certain point on my own, but definitely wouldn't have scaled to this level. We wouldn't be living the lifestyle that we have if we weren't a team and working together. So choose your spouse wisely would be my best advice for you guys. Do you have any advice to close us out?
I don't know if I have much advice, but I just want to say I'm proud of you and I'm proud of us and I love you and I'm excited to see what the future holds for us.
Me too. I love you too.
Yep.
Don't make me cry or something. I did my makeup today. I'm just kidding. I love you. All right. That's it, guys. If you found any value of this, you know what to do. Please like, share, follow, subscribe, and we will see you next week. Bye.